Yeah.
I feel so bad now. Sorry.
They don't eat milk and garlic.
Like, so I saw it in front of my eyes, like killing a goat. So at that time, for a month or so, even I felt like not eating non-veg.
Have you heard of the term veganism?
No, actually, not at. No, I've not heard.
Veganism. No.
No, what is it?
Have you heard of vegans?
Yeah, I know vegan. Oh, following that is called veganism.
Yeah. Would like to ask you if you've heard of the term veganism.
Vegan. Vegan, no.
Vegan.
The things which are coming from like animals se jo bhi. So,
True. So vegan is someone who doesn't consume any animal-derived product. What do you know about vegans?
Yeah, they don't consume anything which is related to animals, like which comes out of animals or anything like that.
जानवर से आने वाला कोई भी पदार्थ वो लोग नहीं यूज करते हैं. Even milk also. Thank you so much. You know. Yeah.
Yeah, the vegetarians. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. I mean, somewhere related, but not really. Do you know who are vegans?
Yeah, who actually don't eat milk. They don't eat milk and garlic. I'm not sure about it.
So I'll take a moment to just explain. So vegans are folks who do not consume any animal-derived products because they think that it's violation of animal rights. Do you think that's a valid reason?
It depends. Yeah, their personal opinion, but I wouldn't personally follow the same ideology. But if they're okay with that, then sure.
Okay. So you said you will not follow that ideology. The reverse of that ideology is that you are fine harming animals. Is that what you're saying?
Not really, but God, that's complicated. I wouldn't intentionally harm animals, but protein is part of my diet, so I'm okay eating meat.
They think like killing animals is not good, like they're hurting animals. That's what they think.
Okay.
So that is why they don't consume, but I am not that. It's not like I don't support them or I'm against them.
I eat animal products.
So you talked about chickens, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that chickens are subjected to abuse and murder because of our choices?
In one perspective, I do feel that like chickens are getting killed. Like it is kind of, yeah, it's actually kind of we are taking chickens for our use, right? So I do think like we are using chickens for the human. We are abusing them basically. Yeah.
So do you think as individuals we are participating in their murder?
Yeah, I do accept this point. I do accept that we are participating in murdering them.
It's not about just animals, consuming animals. Intaking of animal fleshes are at times good for health. I mean, basically proteins and all that. In that case, it's both good and bad. So I got mixed opinion about it.
Okay. So on the good side, you are saying that we are getting some nutrition from animals.
Yeah.
What's on the bad side?
Bad side is harming animals, definitely. That's again, it's a very bad thing that we are doing towards animal thing. But again,
Why do you think it's bad to harm animals?
of course, it's just like how we harm humans. It's just the same when it comes to animals also.
Yeah.
But when it comes to animals, there are certain animals that we cannot consume, and there are certain animals that we can consume.
You said they think that it is wrong to kill animals, right? So as per you, that thought is correct or incorrect?
Yeah, see, everyone has their own opinions. So maybe the walk they walked in their life may have led them to feel like that. See, even once when there was a function in our house, we cut a goat. Like, so I saw it in front of my eyes, like killing a goat. So at that time, for a month or so, even I felt like not eating non-veg.
Okay.
So I had stopped. Then my parents were like, okay, it happens. And then again, I started eating, and everything was normal.
Yeah.
It's just like how you see.
So when you saw that goat being slit in front of you, can you tell me 3 emotions that you think that the goat went through?
I don't know, but like before, like I was this played a lot of video games, and I was like, hey, I want to slaughter a goat. I was like in this thing when once I had to hold the thing, like my brother was about to cut it, and I was just supposed to hold it. When my brother came to cut the thing, when the goat started screaming and like running all around, I felt bad for it. I started crying. I was like some 4th or 5th grade at that time. So it was pretty hard for me, and like for the goat, yeah, obviously it'll be really hard.
So yes, that's what I'm saying. So you are telling me about your emotions. I'm asking you, can you tell me what the goat went through? Like if you have to take a guess.
it would be really painful. Like it'll be like thinking, why are these people so cruel? But
Some animals should not be eaten. Which animals are you referring to who should not be eaten?
It's basically like, even if I say that specific animal should not be eaten, there are people who are eating it.
Yeah.
So I don't want to comment about it at the moment.
Okay. And on the health part, you said, right, that we get nutrition from them. Now, is that a necessity though? In the sense that I can also get the same amount of nutrition, both in terms of quality and quantity, from plant-based sources as well.
Of course, yeah, true. I totally agree with your point. We like it and we do it.
Yeah.
So it's
So liking is more of a desire. Then
Yeah.
it's not a nutritional necessity per se.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So desire is essentially that we are trying to derive some sort of sensory pleasure,
Yes.
mostly taste in this case, right? So my question to you is that do you think taste or a sensory pleasure is a strong justifier to murder someone?
Of course, no. Definitely no.
If you accept that we are participating in murdering them, don't you think that you should stop, or do you think murdering someone is okay?
This statement is actually tough to answer because perspective of few people, we feel that chicken we are killing for our use, but many people think it's a joy, or basically it's a habit that's come from years killing the chicken.
What about you? What do you think?
No, I think, I do accept. To this point, I do accept that we are killing chickens for our use. Basically, we are murdering them for our use. Yeah, I do accept.
So if you agree to it, then don't you think that you should align your actions with what you believe in? Because I don't think you are someone who would support murder, right?
Yeah.
For no good reason,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You don't support violence,
Yeah, I do.
right?
Yeah.
So in that case, don't you think that you should stop participating in animal use and abuse?
Talking about chicken and non-veg, we should stop. But while we go about eggs and milk, we should not stop because we are not abusing the animals.
Vegans don't drink milk at all. There's a reason for that. That even in small dairy, you already talked about the big dairy farms where they use machinery. That is, of course, cruel. I don't think we are contesting that. But even in small dairy farms also, the animals are subjected to abuse.
There are excess milk also. Like we let the animal feed its children first, and then we extract it. So
Are you sure about that?
I'm
Like I said, think about it for a moment that do you think it makes sense that any mammal produces extra milk?
No, right.
I'll tell you the details also that why there is no extra milk. Constant cycles of pregnancy. They are pregnant. They are made pregnant at the age of when they hit puberty, at the age of 1.5 years old. Like in human terms, only when a girl is 14 years old, around that time. And then continuous cycles of pregnancy. Second thing is how they are made pregnant, right? In earlier days, they used to mate with the bull, and then how a normal procedure is. But to make this process more efficient, what has happened is nowadays there's something called artificial insemination, where the semen of the bull is collected inside and then inserted inside the private parts of the cow or the buffalo. You can Google artificial insemination. These are very standard practices. It is not like a hidden practice happening in some remote areas. In fact, it is something which is promoted by the government also because it is a very efficient process, efficient from the perspective of the business. But then what do you think is happening to the male calves in the dairy industry?
The male calves are basically used for agriculture because to plow the field. But nowadays they don't use to plow the field because there are modern machines
Like tractors.
like tractors. So I don't think so.
What do you think is happening to them? That means there are babies being born every year and no control on whether the baby is a male or female, right? Then if so many male calves are born in the dairy industry, then what do you think is happening to them? All this information is available on internet as well. Like I said, there are certain documentaries made on this issue. I'll give you the list of the documentaries. Plus, you can read the animal husbandry report, which is published by the government, which talks about artificial insemination as well.
Literally make me forcefully eat it because it's good for health. They say it's very much necessary for the body. And yeah, of course, it's their opinion. When it comes to us, it's a different opinion. We do not. I do not want to comment on it.
Yeah. But let's say, and I'm assuming you are dependent on your parents right now, or are you financially independent?
I'm financially independent as of now.
So now it is your choice and not that of your parents, right?
Yes, kind of. But still, when I go home, it's definitely they who is going to give me food. So I cannot ignore what they are trying to give me. Like if I just go and say no, ma, I don't want to eat it, they're gonna let me. So it's basically both again.
Yeah, so again, I get it that some people, especially the older generation in India, they think that there is value, nutritional value in eating animal flesh. But now I think the science on this is also very clear that we can get all the nutritional requirement from a well-balanced plant-based source as well, right? So now I feel that it is only a desire that is keeping this traumatic cycle of killing animals and eating them, right? So do you think it's moral to do so?
Definitely not. So let me clearly tell you, no, we are not seeing people who are actually killing the animal. We go to restaurant, we order some food, they just serve us and we eat it. So basically, when we are eating that food, that picture of killing an animal is not so coming to our mind, and we just eat it. That's what is happening nowadays, I think. But I totally agree to what point you are trying to convey me, but this is what is happening. So
True, I totally get it that food has been marketed to us in a way that we forget that the dish on our plate
yeah, exactly.
was actually a living being who was capable of feeling pain and suffering, was abused and murdered for the demand that we created. So even though if we are not the ones who are actually doing the killing, but we are still responsible for it, don't you think so?
Yeah, I totally agree with your point. Yes.
So you agree that it is not moral, then what is stopping you to align your actions as per your moral values?
It's again, I honestly to be said, I like taking non-veg. As you just said, no, it's basically a self-desire that we want to eat. At times we do not want to eat. Maybe I can take a step forward, reducing the amount of food that I'm intaking. I mean, the non-veg.
That is your perspective, right? I would like to bring back the perspective to that of the goat. You said at the time when the goat was being killed, the goat was terrified and was wondering maybe why these humans are killing me, right? That has still not changed, right? If you think from the perspective of the goat, they still feel terrorized, right?
Yeah, but what can we do? It's just like
We cannot kill them.
if you want, you can't, but I like eating, so I will. So there's like, what do I say? There's nothing wrong or anything like that. We have been doing this for so many years. So if you see in that way, do you eat non-veg?
I used to.
Yeah, you used to. Do you feel bad about it? That you were eating?
Yeah, I mean, they are at the end of the day sentient being, like how you said they were feeling the pain and suffering. And I was directly responsible for it, right?
So now you stopped eating, right? Does it make any changes to the ones you have already killed?
No, it doesn't. It impacts the one which are yet to be killed.
Yeah.
What you are saying essentially is that something wrong has been done in the past, but if we recognize it as something wrong, then don't you think we have the moral responsibility to correct the course of action?
See, bro, what I'm telling is if you see a thing as it is wrong for you. But I don't think it is wrong, is what I'm saying. See, for few people, corruption, even they know it is wrong. For me, what I think is corruption is wrong, but just I'm giving an example. A police collects money from just say vendors. If he thinks it is wrong, it is wrong. If he doesn't have this thought that, oh, I'm doing a wrong thing, it is never wrong for him.
So by that logic, let's say there's a person who thinks it's not wrong to kill a human.
That is what I'm saying is, see, that is left to him. He did it. It is wrong actually.
But
I
would
can
you say it is wrong or right?
I would say it is wrong because it is wrong actually. See, killing a person is different. Killing an animal is different. What I'm saying is edible, like the animals which you can eat. What I'm saying is go kill a horse or nothing like that. See, goats and chickens are grown to be killed. I'm not saying to be killed. Like, these farms, they raise these things to be slaughtered and eaten one day. So then what's the point? If it's like that, if people are worried so much, they can bring government reforms about these things and get it
Of course, totally. So government reforms and legal actions, they will come later on only when enough number of people start talking about it, right? But before that, first individuals like us have to decide whether it's morally correct or not correct.
For me, it is. I don't have any issues with it.
So in that case, would like to ask you, what is the reason you think that it's okay to kill a goat?
What do I say? Because I like eating. That's why I have no issues with cutting those things.
But if I use the same moral framework, then anyone, let's say, who's a human abuser, can also say, I like beating my wife, I don't have any issue with
Bro,
it.
why are you bringing that thing here? See,
No,
that
no,
is
So
wrong.
let me clarify. I'm just using the moral framework that you are giving
See,
to
leave
justify.
moral, okay, talk legally. Do you think it is, what do you say, legal to guy to hit his wife? No,
Yeah,
right?
no, I totally get it. But legality is something which is formed in our society by us, right? When we recognize that something is wrong, then we convert it into a legal framework. First, the moral framework comes, then the legal frameworks. Just few years back, gay couple relationship in India was illegal. So legality always comes later, right?
But there is still this thing that many people even don't support gay people even now.
Many people are participating in heinous crimes like rape, despite the fact that it's illegal, right?
That is wrong.
Yeah, I get it. So what you are saying essentially that something is legal, hence it becomes morally correct. I'm just contesting that point.
No, you can't tell like that. You're talking in the context of non-veg, like killing animals. So I'm fine with it. It doesn't mean I support something else which is like not ethical or like assault, let it be abuse. I don't support these
No,
things.
you don't, but I'm using the same moral framework, and I'm saying that the same moral framework can be used by a hardened criminal to justify his crimes.
See, bro, the thing is, I haven't committed any of those crimes. So you can go ask the person who has did it. So what I'm saying is, for me, it is totally okay.
So to drive this point into a more serious direction, I'll give you an analogy, right?
Sure.
A lot of human-to-human abuse also takes place because there is a desire to abuse the other person, right? Let's take an example of a heinous crime like rape. It starts with a carnal desire only, right? So I'm not comparing the victims here. I'm comparing the reason that we are giving to abuse animals, right? Isn't that the same reason that since we have the desire, that's one thing. Second thing, we have the might. That is, the animals can't fight back. Yeah, and this is a similar rationale that has been used to perpetrate a lot of human-to-human crime as well.
True. I totally agree with your point actually. Yeah. As you said, it's basically the desire thing, which is what is the content of what we are discussing now.
Yeah. Desire is something that we can control, right?
Definitely. True. Yeah.
Let's say I like this girl, right? I have a desire to be her boyfriend, but let's say if she has rejected, then I have to control my desire and move on, right? I will not use desire as a reason to go and harass her, right?
Definitely. Yeah.
Then don't you think that if you believe in this thought process, you're agreeing to this, then by that logic, we should also not participate in abuse and murder of animals?
Definitely. True. I totally agree to it.
Yeah.
Yes. It makes sense when it comes to comparing things this way. I totally agree to what you said.
Once again, I'm clarifying, I'm not comparing victims directly.
Yeah, I
but
totally agree.
yeah, but what I'm saying is that if anyone is capable of feeling pain and suffering, if anyone has sentience, right? In that case, I think it becomes a moral obligation for us to not to harm that being. Now, that can be a human, that can be an animal as well.
Sure. Definitely.
We also have the option to practice fairness. We have the option to showcase empathy. We have the option to show compassion. Then don't you think we should opt for that?
We should. Yeah, we should. I do agree with this statement.
What I'm telling is, I wish I like eating animals. I'm okay with killing. So you can't say that I should do something else or anything. So my point here is clear that I like eating non-veg. I'll eat. If you don't like, you don't eat. I'm not like I'm forcing you to eat or don't eat. It's left to you. That's what I'm saying. So it's not like I would tell someone to do it or no.
No, but you are forcing your choice and dominion on the animal, right? From the perspective of the animal, someone, like when we eat non-veg, someone
Did they
is...
come and complain?
Yeah, I
the
mean,
animals?
like you said earlier, right? They were terrorized, they were screaming. That was complaining, right?
Who told it is complaining, bro?
They were consenting to being killed.
Bro, like what you're saying is completely different. What I'm saying is different.
Reason is that they are sentient beings who are capable of feeling pain and suffering, like how you said for that goat
I
when
don't
you
feel
had...
the same.
No, it's not about feeling, it's a fact, right? That they feel pain and suffering.
I don't feel the same, bro. If I want to eat, I'll eat.
I can give you a moral framework that can help you
Sure.
quenching your desire, and that is to think from the victim's perspective, right? Don't think of food as products. Think of it as someone who lived just like us, capable of feeling pain and suffering, right? Do you think you'll be able to kill an animal yourself and then...
No, that's what I said, even when we eat something, it's not that we are doing it. that they are doing something and just serving it in our plate and we are just eating it. So when it comes to that point, we really don't think of what is happening behind the doors. So maybe I can just think like in future, I can work on.
And don't you think that's all the more worse because we are paying someone else with lesser means?
Actually, that makes sense now.
Yeah.
You know, it's I feel so bad now. I'm so sorry.
No, that is perfectly all right. I mean, the objective of such conversation is to talk to open-minded people like yourself. And this is a fact that we all agree that it's animal cruelty. We just don't want to acknowledge it. And instead, we have paid someone else with lesser means to do the dirty work on our behalf, right?
Yes. Of course. Yeah.
Okay. So I'll introduce myself. So I said earlier that I was a non-vegetarian. Then I became a vegetarian for animal ethics reason. But then I learned about the dairy industry. And that's when I decided to go vegan. A vegan is someone who rejects the commodity status of animals. That is, we don't see animals as products for our consumption. They are sentient beings capable of feeling pain and suffering. And hence, we think that they should not be used or abused. Right? And you seem someone that your moral values are completely aligned to that of veganism. It's just that you have to take that action.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, I totally agree with whatever we were discussing now. It all makes sense when, you know, when we think from the victim's perspective.
Do you think you will be able to cut an animal yourself?
I don't have that much of guts. I can't.
Because you realize that if you do it, you are causing pain and suffering. It is happening to them anyway, right? Because of the demand that we are creating. Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Something to think about?
Yeah.
Yeah? That personal choice can't have a victim. Would you not say that?
No.
Personal choice should not have a victim, right?
Bro, I don't care, bro. I like eating non-veg, I eat non-veg, that's it.